One time our church, some members of church went to a prison. I want to say Lucasville, Ohio. I'm not sure which prison. And they went there, to preach the word of God. And the ones they went to preach the word of God to were murderers. Yeah, I mean, actual people. They had to get permission from the prison staff. And I can't remember if they went into a room or if they preached to them individually. I can't remember. But I talked to a couple of the church members about it. What was it like? And they said the ones that they preached to, the ones that was in there for murder, you would think murdered somebody because they had, or murdered somebody because they wouldn't all just to kill. They said no. A lot of the ones we was preaching to was in there. This one was in there because somebody stole from him. Yeah, yeah, stole from him, and so I think he broke into his garage and was stealing. I forget what he was stealing, but the guy shot him to death. Yeah, he just said he wouldn't put up with theft. Well, that's like these black hat hackers. I'd be afraid. I would be a real afraid to be the FBI calls them crackers. Anyway, I'd be afraid if I destroyed, somebody's computer equipment and they proved it was me. Oh, you don't know who. When you break into a computer system, you don't know who you're really messing with until you steal all their identity. But I would be afraid I'd get a contract put out on me. Yeah. You know, it's a good way when you do stuff like that. It's a good way. You're just asking for trouble. I mean, if just the idea of them proving it and finding me and just doing away with me, and that's regardless of the country. I mean, matter of fact, why I'm making this video, the guy that killed him said I would travel. I would get on an airplane and travel anywhere to find him. Yeah, he shot him like 6, 7 times. Shot him to death in the head. I mean, half his head was gone. He's in prison for life for doing it, but he said he put up with enough theft. But that was the one. When they told me that some years ago, that's when I started hearing about these black hat hackers stealing information. I thought, boy, that's a dangerous game when you think about it. Damn. To me, that's just as bad as messing with some guy's wife. You're asking him to be murdered. Some things in this world you just don't do. Matter of fact, my neighbor, I've said this before, when I first got on the computer, he'd been on the computer some years before me. And my neighbor, was telling, he hacked, benign hacking. He didn't steal anything, he'd just sneak in. He'd hack a few, as a matter of fact, he hacked a bank account. Just be nosy. But he didn't hurt nothing. I looked at him, I said, Jason, aren't you afraid though? I won't give his last name. I said, aren't you afraid maybe damaging something and then finding out that you did it and getting yourself murdered over that? You ever think about that? He said you try not to. I said, there's some people would just slap you in the face. That's it. But there's some people would blow your head off in a heartbeat. And that's when I told him about our church members going to preach the word of God to these murderers in prison. There's some things in life it's okay to do, but there's some things in life you just don't do at all.